What's going on, guys? Steven here, standing by the world famous Las Vegas Strip, and the first property to be sold here in Las Vegas in 2020 is, drumroll please, the Tropicana. Yep, the Tropicana looks to be sold. This information comes to you from the Vital Vegas blog, and they have some pretty good sources. Let's break down the sale. Let's explain what it might mean. Let's also tell you that if you like Vegas videos, you should subscribe to the channel, and you should like and you should comment. All those things help a great deal. And you should also tell us, what's your experience? Have you ever been at a Tropicana property, be it here or in Atlantic City, if there is still one in Atlantic City? Brief history of the Tropicana. It was built in the 1950s. Originally, it was put together by money from the East Coast. Construction got dragged on. Increased construction costs meant that the property went over budget. People lost their fortunes. There's a whole Wikipedia page. We'll cover the Tropicana in its full video where we do editing and we make it all fancy pants for you in the future, so make sure you subscribe for those videos coming up too. But the Tropicana has been sold multiple times over the years. The last buyer was Penn National Gaming. They actually own the M Resort and the Tropicana right here in Las Vegas. So they own a couple of properties. The problem is debt. You know, companies have debt. And like a lot of different transfers of properties that happened in 2019 with the Bellagio and the Circus and the MGM Grand and the Rio, we're looking most likely at a lease back on this property, meaning that whoever is going to be buying the land will own the land in the building, but Penn will probably stay in and still run the casino and hotel operations, because oftentimes property management companies don't know how to run casinos. Just look what happened at the Cosmo with Deutsche Bank. You can learn more about that in my Cosmopolitan video that I posted just 2 days ago, or at the start of this year. I'll try to link that in the description box below as well. So Penn has sold it. They also own the M Resort here in Las Vegas too. So they have another property that they have, and who knows if that will go by the wayside as well. Maybe they'll sell that as well. But when they originally purchased it, they actually had a $100 million retail development that was in process and going to be possibly built at the Tropicana. Now, I'm going to think that what will probably likely happen now is that that retail will be built. I mean, it makes total sense, being that it's about 1.5 miles away from the Raider Stadium, being that people are going to be walking past the Tropicana to go down to Hacienda to walk over the bridge to the Raider Stadium. It would make total sense for them to have restaurants, dining, and shopping on the way. People will sit down, have a drink, do their thing at the Tropicana, and they can profit from that. But years ago, when they purchased the property, it made no sense. There was no Raiders Stadium, there was no idea of moving the team here, so they actually scuttled that in the past. But it's going to be interesting to see if the Tropicana gets a renovation, if it gets room refreshes. Recently, the Tropicana added Robert Irvine's and a couple of different properties down there, and that was their, you know, their chance to try to be relevant in a really hyper-competitive Las Vegas dining and retail space. But still, it is a place where I know people to this date vow it's one of the best properties to gamble at. It's one of the best properties to get comps at. But we'll see how this leads into the future in 2020. And if this is another trend, we might see a lot of different casino companies loosening up assets, making money back, and just being tenants in the properties that they used to own. As I mentioned, the same thing happened with the Bellagio, same thing looks to be happening with the MGM, same thing already did happen with the Rio. That sale of these properties just ended up closing in the last few months. I'm interested to hear what you think about this sale. Are you guys Tropicana fans? Is it a casino you've ever been in? If you haven't been in it, I highly recommend you do go, because they have the world's biggest Tiffany piece hanging above the table gaming area. It's a sight to be seen, worth millions and millions of dollars, and it's been there for such a long time. I hope they don't get rid of that. This information comes to you guys from the Vital Vegas blog. You guys should go check out the blog if you're into Vegas stuff. They have good coverage over there. Their sources are almost always completely accurate. This is the source that I got the sale for the Bellagio from, and it was interesting to see. So we have all these different sales closing, all these different properties changing hands. We don't know who the buyer is yet. I'm just gonna say it might be the Blackstone Group, because it seems to be they're buying up everything lately. They now own the Bellagio land, they own the Cosmopolitan land. It looks like they might buy the MGM land, and if they own the Tropicana, at what point is it just like a monopolistic land ownership game in Las Vegas? I don't know, you tell me. Are monopolies a good or a bad thing? I'm Steven, I'm not leaving Las Vegas. Thanks for watching this video, coming to you from Harmon, right by the Carriage House. And we can see the Cosmopolitan. You should go check out my Cosmopolitan video. I'll link it in the first comment and description of this video. Thanks for watching, sharing, and liking. Have a good one out there. Bye-bye.